Hello, everyone. I'm here with Scott the Waz, and today we're just going to be talking about Super Mario Bros. Wonder because the game's coming out very soon. I imagine you're excited for it. Are you excited for Elephant Mario, or what parts of the game are you most excited for?
I've been looking forward to Elephant Mario for decades, and it finally happened. I'm very, very excited. Now, when that Nintendo Direct happened in June, obviously there was a lot of leaks and rumors going around that a new 2D Mario would be announced during then. And I was definitely looking forward to seeing what they would do. It's obviously, I think everybody's opinion at this point is the fact that New Super Mario Bros. Series getting a little stale in terms of the style.
Absolutely, yeah.
Everybody wanted to see what would happen next. What is the next step for 2D Mario? And felt like Nintendo was thinking the exact same thing everybody else was thinking. This was like the happiest I could imagine being watching a new 2D Mario getting revealed. I was smiling so much. I was like, oh my god, this is incredible.
Yeah. Like, the best part about it for me is I've watched the trailer several times at this point, and I still have no idea what's going on. And that is like so exciting because, we watched the Mario Bros. 2 trailer, the Mario Bros. U trailer like a decade ago, and we're like, oh, power up. We've seen this world. It looks slightly better. Oh, lots of coins. But this is like, what the hell is going on? I mean, there's a lot of wacky stuff going on in this game.
That's what's so exciting about it, and I think it's also how Nintendo themselves described it. I believe like when they tweeted it, or even in the description of the game, they say it's the next evolution of 2D Mario, which is so cool to hear because New Super Mario Bros. Felt like the next evolution of 2D Mario, but just the first one, and then everything after that felt like just iterative, like just ways to play New Super Mario Bros. On other consoles. That's kind of what it boiled down to, even though they are all separate games and they all do different things to some extent.
Slightly different.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited for it, as you can imagine. So I've got a couple of basically just like rough bullet points, and we'll just kind of go through them. In terms of like things that we really don't know what exactly is going to happen, because like just even like the story as an example, there's a shot in the trailer where we do see Bowser's airship fly over the overworld. So obviously Bowser's involved, but we can play as Peach, we play as Daisy. So what exactly like could that possibly entail? Like, is Bowser teaming up with someone else, or is Wart back potentially, because we could play as Daisy and she was the kingdom in or she was the princess from Super Mario Land? Not Super that was Super Mario Bros. 2.
There's a big dream-like essence around this game, so I wouldn't doubt seeing a lot of elements. And also, with Daisy coming in, it feels very much like Nintendo. I mean, they started to embrace more of like the spin-off side of the Mario franchise into the mainline series. It felt very weird how, for a while there, like there's this line in the sand. This is Mario spin-off stuff, and this is Mario mainline stuff. For some reason, like a lot of that spin-off stuff just wouldn't really
interconnect.
Yeah, and that's not even talking about stuff like Paper Mario or whatever. Like even like stuff that you'd mainly see in like Mario sports games. Stuff that's like, oh, this is like a Mario series thing in this, but like you don't see that kind of stuff in the mainline series, which was always odd. And it felt like with like Mario Odyssey, we saw Toadette there, and just kind of moving a little more towards like, hey, these are all part of the Mario universe. Let's utilize them.
Yeah.
So Daisy being there is really cool, and I would love to see more stuff like that in this game as we see more of it. But yeah, for sure. I don't think it's out of the possibility that Wart's going to be here. I think it's a less than 5% chance, but
it's very small. It's got to be a second villain. Like maybe it's Tatanga, because that's why I was getting confused. Because Daisy's from Super Mario Land. The bad guy in that game is Tatanga. He's the little alien space guy. And it's hard to remember what he looks like because he's from the Game Boy, but like official artwork, he's like this little purple dude. Maybe he's also teaming up with Bowser, or like, I don't know. It's really hard to say. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the story's going to actually be slightly more interesting this time. At least I'm hoping it will be.
Well, I don't think we're in the Mushroom Kingdom at all. I believe it's been said, because I think I kind of forget. I do know on the world map, I think there is something when like it shows that footage of Luigi on the world map. I think you can see the level names, and I think something alludes to this being like a new, like obviously it's a
like
new
another
world.
kingdom.
I think like Yeah, it's a different kingdom, especially when you see like the Toad house lookalikes, but like it's a different kind of thing. Like that's a different species coming out of that house.
Yeah.
That little like whatever sprout house looking thing. So yeah, I don't remember. Let me see.
I actually know what kingdom you're talking about. I wrote it down.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Yeah, so it was the Flower Kingdom. That was the one that we saw. So yeah, that definitely leads to the idea of there being multiple kingdoms, and also that might be why Tanga could potentially be in the game, because we could get the Rassaland Kingdom or something, and then we get like
I don't know. just that whole sentence structure just made me laugh. Just like that's why I think Tatanga is coming back.
He's gonna be it's gonna happen.
Main
okay.
Villain.
Yes. Mark my words.
But yeah, I think in terms of the story, definitely this entire world feels very dreamlike. I'm looking at the world map, and just like this, like, I don't know, it just feels like a lot of the colors and a lot of the effects going on. It feels very much like this is kind of a dream world. And also just like with the word wonder, even though that doesn't really have a ton to do with dreams, but you even look at a game like Balan Wonder World, and that's kind of like a dreamlike thing. So based on that, I wouldn't put it past this being a dream, especially how wacky so many things about this game get, you know?
That's another reason we're getting Warp, because that whole game was a dream.
See, that is true. But I think it's, I mean, do you think the entire area this game takes place is the Flower Kingdom?
Oh,
or that's just the first world? Because I think that's definitely where you get your little flower buddy, that little guy that has voice acting.
I mean, honestly, I feel like the only footage we saw was from Flower Kingdom. Like, I imagine that the other kingdoms are going to have some other character or other plant or something that talks to you. So, yeah, I could definitely see that happening. In terms of, like, how many worlds there would be, I mean, do you think it's going to still be 8? I think it might be less this time, because they are going with definitely something much more creative.
Yeah, I mean, they might go kind of a Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze route, where that had less levels than the previous game, but they were longer. They were a bit more in-depth.
Yeah.
As crazy and as evolved as this looks from previous New Super Mario Brothers games, it does still kind of follow the traditions, or at least like some of the tropes of 2D Mario, even though the level designs are vastly different and way cooler. I do feel like, so, I mean, I'm jumping ahead a bit to like level themes, I guess, but yeah. I do feel like overall, from what I've seen, even though this game looks bonkers, it feels like in this game's own little special way, the level themes are still kind of following general 2D Mario level themes, in the sense that it's just like grassland is like that first area that we saw. It looks unlike any other grassland we've seen in Mario, which makes it a million times better. But I still feel like that's this game's grassland.
It's like just that it takes the base, but then it goes crazy with like the base itself.
Exactly. So I would love to see a little more life in these stages, and we're definitely already seeing that. You know, at the very end of each stage, you know, we see like whatever, like these houses you're kind of like fixing up with the wonder seeds or whatever.
Yeah.
And you see the little guy come out to thank you.
Little caterpillar guy.
Yeah. There's a lot more going on. It doesn't really feel like it's just you and 3 other people in this kind of empty world that's just kind of filled with enemies and blocks. It feels a little closer to like, oh, like there's actual stuff to do here, and there's actual this is an actual place with people that live here, which I think is really cool.
Like, touching on that, like the wonder seeds that's probably the most mysterious part of the game, because, you know, it seems like a wonder seed is going to do something different in like every single level. Like, we've seen like the pipes start bouncing up and down, you turn into like a boulder spike guy, there's a bunch of sheep that you run across.
Yeah, it's strange because they seem like power-ups, but also like this game's star coins at the same time, which is strange. It's really weird, and that's what's so exciting about this game, because it's so hard to really tell like what all this stuff does, which shows that this is truly doing a lot of stuff new. This is truly doing, because like there's also the purple coin style things, but they also, you collect them, and on the UI it displays as a decimal. which is weird.
That is very strange. And then there's even like a 10 purple coin block as well. So you can get them in bigger than 0.1. So I guess there's like mini coins or whatever. Purple coins, I would assume it's for unlocking things. Like, it'd be great if you could actually unlock costumes. Just like in Mario Odyssey. Oh, that would actually...
Yeah, this does very much feel like the regional coins from Mario Odyssey, but these seem like they're all across the entire game, you know? Or it could be for extra characters, because it seems like this game's main thing is, well, not main thing, but they're really going in on like, we have a lot of characters. Because it feels like there are, for how many characters they have here, I mean, you already have Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, and then Toad, multiple variants of Toad.
And Yoshi.
Yoshi, multiple variants of Yoshi. So it just kind of feels like, I don't even know if there's a limit to the amount of characters that we can really expect, because they've already shown more than what you can potentially play as, which all we know is 4, but hey, I mean, Switch has done more before, so who knows, maybe 5. But,
I almost wonder if, like, you unlock a new character per kingdom. Because it almost feels like it's kind of going to be like that, but...
I mean, I kind of want to know, like, what other characters do you think are going to be in this game? Do you think we've seen them all?
I think they're hiding a couple. Like, I could honestly see Wario making it in, and that would be so cool, because then that's like, hey, we're kind of getting a new Wario Land game, but he's, like, in a Mario game.
That would be cool, especially if the characters do have, like, a unique move.
Yeah, if he could do his,
then he can do the shoulder
thing,
bash, yeah.
That would be sick.
That would be cool. I think Rosalina's pretty likely, just because she's been in 3D World, and I think that would work. Though I think it would be really cool to see Pauline as like a playable character for the first time in the main series.
I feel like the end world bosses are also going to be a lot more interesting this time around. I'm assuming he's some sort of end world boss. And I don't know.
Maybe the damn Reznors from New Super Mario Bros. 2 again.
Yeah,
it was cool that they brought those back from Mario World, but then they were just the only thing in New Super Mario Bros. 2.
I almost wonder if they're still going to do the Koopalings, but they like drastically change how they look this time. Because I'd
be fine with the Koopalings again, especially with how unique the rest of the game is. I mean, that's all it is. Like, the Koopalings became great because the rest of the game was so... whatever, like, sterilized, you know?
And they just used them, I think they used them like 2 or 3 games in a row. Like, it was too much.
In terms of bosses, I think I'm going to expect a lot of new things.
I would hope so. Yeah.
It's nothing but pretty much new stuff. I mean, like, when I look on the Mario wiki page for this, like, the returning enemies, it only goes so far, you know? And even then, like, you're bringing back Koopa Troopas, but they have rollerblades now, you know? So, like... I
love that they're on rollerblades, and even like I didn't even notice until like I was watching it several times over. Like they'll even blade with you like on the grind rail sections, and that is also another brand new thing is grind rails. We've never seen that in a Mario game, so that's very, very interesting. It's something you see like in a bunch of like in a lot of Sonic games, but in Mario, I don't think it's ever happened.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty interesting. It seems like a pretty big mechanic in the game. Overall, I think it's shown a couple times in the trailer, so I think it's gonna appear a couple times in the game.
Probably.
Yeah. I think overall, I feel like this game is gonna have a ton of content to it. I feel like this is gonna be a pretty substantial release.
I wonder if this game is gonna have like some more than just like this single player. Like Mario Bros. U has the challenge mode. Mario Bros. And the coin runners thing. Mario Bros. 2 has DLC. Like, I wonder if this game will get like DLC levels that are like super difficult. Challenges I think would be fantastic. Like, I could see them adding a lot of playtime to the game, just including a bunch of really tough challenges where you have to do something like really, really specific in a certain amount of time.
You know what I would love to see? Something similar to what they did in Captain Toad and also Kirby and the Forgotten Land, where when you beat the stage, then it shows you a bunch of the objectives to complete in there that are just kind of like these basic little missions. And I really like it because like you can unknowingly complete the entire stage without knowing what the objectives are. And I think that's a fun way to add replayability that doesn't feel like a super super annoying.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I wonder if they'll do the hidden Luigi's again, like they did with Luigi U. Probably not. It'll be kind
Yeah,
of funny,
probably
though.
not. That was kind of during their weird little stint with the Year of Luigi.
I don't know, just a random thing I thought, because I'm just like thinking back to the other games, like what other stuff could they potentially bring back? The star, I'm trying to remember the name of the mode, but the star mode in DS was really, really fun. And I guess I have like a distinct memory with it, because I was like 12 years old. I was at the airport, and I was just playing my DS, and there was just some random guy also playing the DS. He came up to me. He's like, "Hey, do you have New Super Mario Bros?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm playing it." So then, while we were waiting for our plane, we played it for like an hour. It was really, really fun.
Dude, like that's just like take me back to those times when you just felt like you could just do that, or
that
like now I'd just
anymore.
be like, they're not gonna. I can't go up to a random person and ask them to play Mario with me. Like, but no,
That
that's
was a
super
special
fun.
time. I guess because I have that memory, that's a big reason why I want to see that mode come back. Because it was a lot of fun. I think with 4 people fighting over getting the most stars would make it even more hectic, and that mode really was at its best when it was super hectic.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm definitely. I would love to see like challenge mode return from Mario U. And even more fleshed out, because challenge mode is great in that game, but I would love to see like them just take it and just roll with it, and maybe even add more unlockables you can have like through challenge mode. I would love to like find these characters, almost like how it felt like unlocking characters in like Smash Brothers Melee, where it's like you had to complete this specific thing.
The unlockables were very super specific, and there was multiple ways to do it too.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun, but I think I would expect maybe 1 or 2 more unlockable characters, and it's kind of like after beating the game, and then maybe after beating like the special world or something, you know.
I mean, I feel like Wario's gonna happen. It'll be a big surprise.
I feel like Wario is gonna happen.
Or you know what?
I'm not sure. I'll be the contrarian. I'll say I don't know if Wario's gonna happen.
What about Donkey Kong?
That'd be amazing.
It won't happen,
super
but
funny.
That would be very funny, but I highly doubt it.
I mean, they did set up, you know, they did show how Donkey Kong is in, you know, Mario Odyssey, you know, so like
exactly. You know what? You never know.
You know what? I feel like Bowser's gonna be the big villain until at the very end. I think there's gonna be a bigger baddie, and how about that? You unlock Bowser.
Ooh.
On like World 7.
Okay.
You unlock Bowser on World 7. World 8 is the big villain against everything.
That's when you fight Wart and Tatanga.
Yeah. Yeah, Wario.
That's when you fight. Yeah, exactly. Wow. Wario's the bad guy.
And then, yeah, I like that. I like Wario as a bad guy again. But and then how about this? Bowser you unlock before the final boss. Rosalina you unlock at the very end. Rosalina you unlock as like World 9 thing. World 9 can be like a space theme, and you unlock Rosalina at the very end. I don't actually know if that's gonna happen, but I think that would be kind of cool. That'd be kind of a fun. I mean, like Rosalina's never been playable in a 2D setting, so that would be kind of cool. But
no, she hasn't.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, Bowser hasn't really been playable in like a mainline game outside of like technically Mario Odyssey. So
the
I
only
think, like,
game, I mean, he was technically playable in Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, but that's not a mainline Mario, so...
Yeah, I think, like, mainline, I think it'd be pretty cool. I mean, the characters' proportions are all pretty similar, so I don't know if Bowser would really work. Because I think they kind of want to keep all the characters roughly the same.
They make him look like Smash Bros. Bowser, where he's just, like, very thin.
Yeah, they could do that. I mean, I think, so I will say, like, I think, like, the designs of the characters in this game are really cute. Like, they kind of squish them a little bit, make them a little more, I don't even know, because it's just, like, I'm so used to that New Super Mario Brothers model. I'm not actually sure if, like, is Mario squashed a little bit in this game?
He almost looks wide, which is really strange, but I kind of like it.
Kind of keeps with the Mario RPG style, but that just might be because that's on our minds with the remake.
Because we saw them back to back.
Yeah. Well, Peach at least looks like kind of like her proportions are a little more chibi. At least to me, like when she's like jumping when they first reveal Peach, she looks a little more like the shorter limbs and stuff, and kind of like I don't know. Do you get that vibe?
I mean, it's interesting because I feel like their proportions only look weird when they're small. Because I think when they're just normal size, they look fine.
It's just a lot of fun new directions where it feels a little weird at first, but it's just like I'm all for it. I'm all for them just doing something different and new because like who knows, maybe in 10 years this is going to be like what Mario is now.
I guess like the last thing we could touch on is the power-ups because obviously we know the elephant thing is in the game. We saw Fire Peach at one point, so Fire Flower of course. But beyond that, like what other power-ups are we gonna get? Like we'll probably get stars as usual. But that's about all we know. It's just those 3.
I don't think we're gonna get a ton. I don't think we're gonna get a ton of like power-ups that really kind of appeared in like a game or something like as in like, oh, that's that game's identity, like how they brought back the super leaf and stuff. I don't think we're gonna get stuff like that. I think it's mostly gonna be a lot of new stuff because
Probably,
the elephant power-up feels so weird. It feels so unique. It doesn't really look like I could never imagine that in like Mario World. I could never imagine that in like New Super Mario Brothers.
I mean, do you think
whereas
like maybe every kingdom will have like its own animal power-up? Because I've almost wondered that. Because maybe that's what'll happen.
It could. I mean, like this game feels like it's bursting at the seams with stuff that is just like just throwing every idea out there. So I feel like I would expect stuff like as many power-ups as something like Mario 3D World. You know, you're gonna have Fire Flower invincibility, but I feel like it's gonna be a lot of stuff like Elephant Mario. How about?
I was just picturing like Giraffe Luigi. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's just Luigi, but he has a really tall neck, and like his mouth sticks out a little bit.
He doesn't even look like a giraffe. It's just really badly photoshopped neck strain. Like it's just bad.
Yeah, it's interesting because like with animals, when you start to really think about the idea of them all being animal-based power-ups, really leads to think like, okay, well, what attributes do the animals have? Because like with the elephant, you could like swing off of like a bar or something and like swing really fast, get speed, or you could ground pound because you're heavier, ground pound through heavier pieces of land, and then like a giraffe, you can reach up and like grab stuff, I guess. So like, I think, like what other interesting animals could they use?
We're getting a bird. We are getting a bird.
100%. Yes.
There's going to be flying in this game. We are getting a bird 100%.
Flamingo Peach.
Flamingo Peach.
That would be cool. That'd be cool.
I think eagle, maybe. I think.
Do you think that would be too broken if you could just fly everywhere?
Here's the thing. I feel like some of these power-ups might be level specific, as in they might be like how Yoshi operated in New Super Mario Bros. Wii and U.
Maybe.
Can you imagine being that damn elephant throughout the whole game? I don't think so.
Probably not.
I cannot imagine that thing on the world map. I think it's gonna be. I don't know.
Well, it could be like world specific.
Yeah, I feel like that thing's gonna get taken away from you, like going into the next level. Maybe. I could imagine that.
I want to use it the whole game.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, this is just me throwing stuff at the wall. I don't know. Do you think there's an animal theme, or do you think it's just all about just random stuff?
I mean, it very well could be. I just think it's so bizarre that they specifically picked elephant, and that was like a standout in the trailer. It wasn't like, oh yeah, here's this bunch of power-ups. Like, no, they focused on the elephant. So it could just be like animals, or just like maybe it's a bunch of different species. Like maybe there's reptiles, insects turn into.
Well, it's also,
who knows?
Is this the first major animal power-up where Mario genuinely turns into it? Because the other ones are suits.
Well, there's the Tanuki. Well, I mean, obviously there's the Tanuki suit, but there is like a different variant of it where you kind of turn into the whole thing, but that still doesn't really
the thing
count.
I'm thinking is like with the Tanuki suit, it is very much like he's kind of wearing a costume, and with like Raccoon Mario, sure he has the ears, but it's still like on his hat and stuff. It feels like stuff that's part of a costume. Where this is genuinely like his entire body turns into an elephant. Yeah, I feel like elephants are kind of the main. I mean, not elephants. I think animals are going to be the main style of power up now, where it's just like it genuinely transforms them into these creatures. Because I was thinking like, what other things could they add in terms of like maybe elemental stuff? Obviously, like maybe electricity, like Electric Mario. There's also like, I don't know, water.
Speaking of water, he turns into like, you get the frog suit back, but they make it like actually usable.
Yeah. So I think different animals. I think we're gonna get a bird. Maybe a chameleon.
I want to see like a monkey and like
Oh yeah.
climb up vines.
Yeah.
And stuff.
You could do that where it's like, yeah, maybe you're just faster. You can climb up, jump even higher.
Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, that could technically be like the replacement for the cat suit, kind of. Like maybe he can like kind of climb up ledges, but not very high. So I guess very similar to the cat suit.
Yeah.
So I can see a monkey, a bird, pretty likely. Maybe like an alligator or something instead of like a frog. That would honestly be pretty cool.
What is he gonna do?
He swims.
He can chomp. He can chomp.
Yeah, exactly. He swims very stealthily.
I think that's possible. I think it's genuinely like totally up in the air. I think the entire point of this game is that it's just weird stuff, and I think that's probably why they made it so then you don't wear a suit anymore. It's about like you genuinely turn into these animals. So I think it's all about just like weird, and I can't imagine them stopping at Elephant Mario. I think that's just kind of like going to be the headliner just because they need a headliner.
Caught everyone's attention.
Yeah, I think this game is going to have a lot of stuff, and I think they're all going to be based on animals.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Unless there's like anything else that you wanted to predict. I think we got like most of the highlights.
Not a prediction, but it's just a hope. I hope it gets a new logo.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I agree, though.
That
like,
logo just looks a little stinky. Like,
God,
I don't like
it's so
it.
bad. I mean, I thought about the logo a lot. I'm like, why would they make it look like that? But I think the only reason they kept the original Super Mario Bros. Brand was just so that people would be like, oh, this is another 2D Mario. It's a little more recognizable, but
Fine with that, but the wonder part, like, there's that weird portion above the wonder part, but below the Mario logo that's just like this blank space. And I'm like, this makes no sense from a perspective. Like, I don't know. This confuses me. It looks strange.
It is not well designed. Yeah, I don't understand why. I mean, they could have even like tweaked the word Super Mario Bros. And made it blend in a little bit better with Wonder, but still kind of retain the style. But like, they didn't really. It just looks like they slapped on the original and slapped on the new one and called it a day.
Yeah,
really.
It is pretty cool though that it is pretty cool though. This is like the first like Super Mario Brothers game since like 3 that is like, it's Super Mario Brothers. That's all it is.
Yeah, and it's not new Super Mario Bros.
I think it's cool that we brought back Super Mario Brothers, the name, and I don't know, but forgetting the logo, I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing. And I think this game has so much to talk about, so much to predict, and I think it's gonna be pretty cool when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm excited to play it. Yeah, all right. Well, I think we've been going long enough. So thanks again for joining. Always a pleasure. And yeah, thank you all for watching as well.